It's the second germinating video I've done. Figured I'd give an updated one. So what you want to do, or what at least I do, is planter cells. You can use them over and over again. You can tell this has been worn. And they're shallow. A lot of people will try to germinate in red solo cups. And the problem with red solo cups is they will germinate, but they will take longer because you do a heating mat, which this is pretty warm, this one. And they range. These do not have thermostats, but they range. When the soil is more shallow, the germination mat will reach through the reservoir tray and on through the planter cell. Now, if you use a red solo cup, it's going to take more time and energy to go up through here, and all the way through a red solo cup, which is about like that. So it's about 3 times the depth of the planter cell. You want faster germination rates? Use a planter cell. You don't even have to fill them up all the way. You can fill them up halfway if you wish. But when you transplant them, you should fill them all the way up in the red solo cups. So when they sprout, when they're already sprouted and you transplant them, they'll have a better chance of the light instead of the shadows of the inside of the rims of the cup. Now, as far as germination mats go, here is a Vivasun. And this is more of a generic, but I tell you what, this is one of my best ones. I really don't have much of recommendations for one. I do recommend, if you want to do the best ones, get one with a thermostat. Also, the heating elements in these germination mats, they do depreciate over time. I've had this one for about 3 years, and it's sufficient. This might be the last year running this, and I might throw it out or actually keep it and put it underneath fully grown plants. It'll help the growth. But every couple of years, you should replace them because the heating elements do depreciate. Now, as far as germinating goes, it takes anywhere from a few days to 5 weeks. You must be patient. This is a hobby for a lot of people. Now, this is my livelihood, but for the hobbyists, please be patient. I get a lot of messages stating, "Oh, my seeds are not germinating. It's been a week." Well, my germination, I should have had this unfolded already for the... I give instructions, okay? And this is my second video as well. So I apologize. So here we go. Each order comes with one of these. Listed below are easy instructions for seed germination in order to germinate super hot peppers. And of course, map your grow area. Plant tags can fade with the sun and rain. Also, if seeds do not germinate, do not change the soil. Eventually, I am going to update this. I used to have illustrations on this. In this video, I will give an illustration of what I used to have. Place 1 or 2 seeds in each cell with about 1/2 inch dirt covering the seeds. Keep moist the entire time while germinating. Germinating super hots requires temperatures of 80 degrees, 80 to 85. Super hots can take up to 30 days, 40 days. Optional but not recommended. Grow lights for adding warmth. Now this is just a standard T5. I'll tell you what, it's a little bit of heat on here. It's been on all day. And if you have this closer, it will generate heat, and it will speed up the process. All right. Of course, I sign it because I have a lot of pride in what I do and seal it. So there's other things you can do to speed up the process if you're not as patient as I. And I get impatient as well. And I do watch over it every day. Looking through magnifying glasses or binoculars will not speed up the process. Although it's a nervous habit for a lot of people. You can get a dome for these. And that'll help hold in the moisture. Do not let your soil dry out. If you let it dry out, you can actually, the seeds could have possibly sprouted underneath the soil and you may have not seen it. And what ends up happening is they'll dry out and the sprouts will die, and then you'll think the seeds are not good, but meanwhile they sprouted. That happens too. Also, I learned from another vendor, you can use emergency blankets. These will hold in the heat, but I did notice something. I hate that noise, by the way, but I did notice something is a lot of the moisture will come up and then it'll drop. It'll act like a rain, like a biodome, and it'll add a lot of moisture and circulate it. My sprouts were becoming a little bit yellow. Got to regulate the moisture in there. I don't recommend the emergency blanket unless you're going to be very tentative. So, a standard for me, germination mat. You don't have to have a thermostat, but it's best you do. Also, you get what you pay for mostly. If you get a germination mat for $5, it might not even last the season. I can't even remember what I paid. $15, $20, and these have lasted several seasons. But they say after 3-4 seasons, they do depreciate on the heating element. Also, I cough because there's a lot of dust here. Also, I've noticed some people will germinate right on the mat, and moisture will be on that mat. They'll water it very lightly, which will probably speed up the process, but you're risking the heating element to go bad on this. It's not supposed to be wet. That's why you put a reservoir tray on here. So this is my second video I have ever done for germinating for YouTube. I will give an instructional slideshow illustration that I used to have on my instructions. If there's any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Looking for isolated seeds? jppepperseeds.com.